Have you ever received an email that made you raise your eyebrow? Well, you're not alone. Well, in today's digital age, phishing attacks and fraudulent emails are rampant. But fear not, because in this video, we're going to give you the ultimate guide into spotting fake emails. So grab your detective hat, sharpen your intuition, and let's uncover the secrets behind detecting genuine emails and fake emails. And trust me, by the end of this journey, you'll be able to navigate your inbox like a true cyber detective. So let's dive in. Hi, my name's AJ, and on this channel, we discuss all things cybersecurity. So first up then, we're going to be looking at the anatomy of a fake email. And this is an email that was actually sent to my personal inbox. And as you can see, it looks like it's from OpenSea Market. So if you're not sure what OpenSea is actually an NFT platform where you can buy and sell NFTs. And it was quite a big platform in 2021 when a lot of the NFTs were actually booming. And me personally, I was actually trying to buy and sell NFTs. Didn't get into any luck, unfortunately, but at that time I was buying and selling NFTs, and I do still have some on this platform. So as soon as I saw this email, it definitely piqued my interest because I have NFTs on that platform. So straight away I was thinking, okay, maybe somebody has actually put an offer onto one of my NFTs. But first up, you want to make sure that you're always removing emotions out of the situation, because that's what they're trying to play on. So first up then, what you can see, it looks like it's coming from OpenSea Market. That's just the header, but it's very easy to spoof this information, as you can see here. So as you click on this, you can see that the email has actually come from shana.rose@medvet.com. So straight off the bat, this isn't looking like it's coming directly from OpenSea, which is very suspicious. So this is just one red flag to look out for. There is a chance that this could be an OpenSea or OpenSea similar. There might be a spelling mistake in it, but this is the first place you want to be looking. So then you can see in the subject, you have a new offer for one of your listings. So that's definitely going to pique my interest because it's making me think that there's a chance that I'm going to make some money here. So next up then, so there isn't too much in this email. So it isn't directed personally to me. It hasn't got my name in there. It doesn't have anything about the particular NFT that they're saying that it had an offer on it. It isn't addressed directly to me. It doesn't say to Andrew or to Andrew Jones or anything like that. So it is kind of quite generic. So that's also another red flag to look out for. As we can see here then, the body of the email is quite basic. There isn't too much in here to kind of stand out that much. The only thing that we've got here is the link then, which is going to what they say is the NFT listing. But as you can see, first thing you want to do, don't go clicking on the link straight away. You want to go in onto it, hovering over it. And as you can see here, it's going to http://platform.all4rd.net. So straight away, we can see this is a definite red flag that it doesn't look like it's associated to OpenSea at all. So next up then is the actual psychological tactics that these cyber criminals will use while they're trying to send these phishing emails out. So as I mentioned, we've got the subject. So you have a new offer on one of your listings. So instantly, this is triggering my thoughts and anybody that receives this email to think that one of their NFTs is actually up for sale and they could actually make some money by responding to this email. So it's creating that sense of kind of urgency and speaking to my emotions in terms of me maybe trying to want to make some money, maybe trying to get some money for my family. Maybe there's a chance that maybe I was in a potential kind of dire situation and I really needed this NFT to come through and be able to sell that NFT to kind of pay for my bills. You never really know what particular situation the victim is actually in. And that's why it's important to understand that even if you are in a particular difficult situation and you receive one of these emails, always take 5 seconds to think about why that email has been sent to you in the first place. So as we go into the body of the email, then it kind of even pushes on those emotions even more. And that's what these attackers are trying to do. They're trying to push on that curiosity, trying to push on that urgency. And we can see here, they say, we're thrilled to inform you that the NFTs in your portfolio are currently in high demand. So again, that's speaking to our curiosity. We want to know which NFT in our portfolio is actually in high demand. And they're saying the prices are soaring. So again, fueling the fact that a lot of people live on top of greed, and especially when these NFTs came out, and NFTs still at this time are still kind of pushed in a sense that you're actually going to make money from it. So it's feeding on people's greed here. So it says this is an exciting opportunity for you to potentially capitalize on the growing value of your digital assets. So I did have NFTs in my portfolio at this time. So I was thinking, okay, this kind of sounds pretty good. But then it did sound a little bit too good to be true. And like I said, it's quite generic email. There isn't too much to say. It's just really generic. As you can see, they're accepting an offer on your NFT. So remember, the NFT market can be dynamic. So timing is crucial. Don't miss out on the chance to make the most of your digital investment. So they're increasing the urgency and the fear of potentially missing out. So there's a lot of psychological factors that these attackers are trying to use to ultimately to get you to click on this link. And ultimately from this email, they make it extremely simple. There isn't a lot going on this email. You can clearly see that they want us to move towards clicking on this button and ultimately going to their platform, which I'll show you later on in the video. The main thing to remember that the attackers know what they're doing psychologically. They're trying to capitalize on your urgency and your fear. But anytime you receive an email, even if it's a legitimate email, take a bit of time to think about what is actually going on and have a look and think about if there's any of these red flags that we've mentioned in that email itself, then you may want to be careful with actually clicking on it. So next up then, I'm going to show you more information into actually how to analyze the sender address. So as we mentioned in the first portion of the video, you can see the sender address is shana.rose@medvet.com. So maybe there's a chance that this person is authorized to send emails on behalf of OpenSea, even though it's quite unlikely, but we can double check that to see. So what you want to be doing, it all depends on which actually mail provider you're using. I'm using Apple Mail here, but what you want to be doing is looking for the email headers. So you want to go to View, Message, and then All Headers, and it'll show this. So any email provider that you're looking, just Google, how do I look for the email headers in Gmail, and it'll give you an example. You can do the same in Outlook as well. So as you can see here, these are the email headers. This is showing us exactly where the email came from. So you can see X originating org is medvet.com, and we can see the X originating IP address as well. There's a lot of information in here, and it'll show exactly where the email is coming from. So you can say return path, shana.rose@medvet.com. So that definitely isn't going back to anything relating to OpenSea from what we can see. So one thing you can do then is copy the domain here, and you can head over to MX Toolbox, and you can look up that domain. So it's showing us here, this is actually an Outlook.com domain. This is actually an Outlook.com mailbox. It's not really showing anything related to OpenSea. So you'd want to be coming in here just trying to get some information to see if for any reason that address is authorized to send emails from OpenSea. There's a chance that it would say in here, or it would have some relation to OpenSea itself. Obviously, we know that it definitely isn't. Like OpenSea wouldn't use medvet.com to send their emails. Then we can also pull out the IP address. So X origin and IP is where the source of the email came from. I can use something like Abuse IPDB, which is an IP database, and it'll do a search. So it's looking, this is just coming from Microsoft, so it doesn't really tell us much more information other than they're likely using an Outlook account to perform these phishing attacks. And unlikely the OpenSea will be using, well, they could be using Outlook. So what we can do in here, you can search the IP address and it'll give you more information. Again, this is just clarifying what we've already seen, that is coming from an Outlook mailbox. So it's likely that this attacker is using Outlook to be able to perform their phishing attacks. But it's not really showing us any more information to kind of relate it to OpenSea. It's still looking quite generic. There is a chance that OpenSea could be using Outlook, but usually using one of these two tools, if it was legitimate, you would find some information that was more related to OpenSea rather than just kind of the general Outlook or general email provider mailboxes. So now that we've had an understanding of being able to actually look at the anatomy of a fake email, we understand some of the psychological tactics used by cyber criminals, and we've been able to analyze some of the sender information. What we're going to be doing now then is kind of the interesting part, and I know what you've been waiting for, is actually trying to deconstruct the suspicious link that we've seen in here. So like I mentioned, you can go into here, you hover over it, and it tells you where to go. You don't want to click on this. What you want to do is right click, copy the link. So then you want to set up a virtual machine. So if you want me to do a video on how to actually set up a virtual machine, make sure you comment down below with the word machine, and I'll try and do a video on that as well. But effectively what a virtual machine is, if you don't know, it's just a computer inside a computer. So when I run this, I can open up my instance of Kali, and what I'm doing here then, instead of actually running the links in my actual computer itself, I run it inside a sandbox just in case there's anything truly malicious in there, and they were not going to be able to actually access any of my personal information on my laptop itself. It's done, and it's all contained within inside the virtual machine. So all you can be doing then is going directly to that link and just trying to figure out what it is. So as we can see here then, that URL actually redirected to https opensea-en-io/new offer. So this actually looks very close to the actual OpenSea website. And as you can see here, this is an example of the legitimate OpenSea website where it's OpenSea-IO. So they're two very, very close. They do look very, very similar, which makes it even more difficult for people to tell if it's fake or not. But the best thing you can always do anytime you get an email, go directly to the website instead of clicking on the link in the email. So as we explore this website then, to be able to tell that it's actually not legit, when you go down and you click on Connect Wallet or you click anywhere, it generates this pop-up and it asks me to connect my crypto wallet. So we'll do that and we'll try it out. But what you'll notice, anywhere you click on this website, the same pop-up comes up. But if you went to the legitimate OpenSea website, there's obviously, you can review all the different artwork. So that is also another red flag where anywhere you click on the website, you can't use the search function. You can't actually log in. The only thing it's trying to prompt you to do is actually connect your crypto wallet to this site. So I went ahead and I installed MetaMask, which is a cryptocurrency wallet. I created a test wallet, put a little bit of money in there, a small amount, just to kind of test this out so we can see what actually happens here. So I went back to that fake website, went to connect my MetaMask wallet. I clicked on the account, I clicked next. And as soon as I clicked next, it said for security reasons, we can't allow to connect an empty or new wallet. As soon as I connected that wallet, it authorized the transaction and it sent that funds that I had in there to the attacker's wallet, and all of a sudden my money is gone. So this is for testing purposes only. I don't recommend that you're always interacting with these phishing sites, but as an analyst and as a cybersecurity analyst, the whole point is to interact with them and to be able to learn from them, to be able to protect yourself and be able to protect the employees who are working for your company. So one thing you can do to be able to check out our URL is to go into something like Symantec Site Review, put in the URL. As we can see here, this has already been categorized as phishing. So if it wasn't, you could submit this as a categorization, and then this then feeds into the Blue Coat proxy. So the proxy, anytime somebody tries to connect to a website that is marked as phishing, the proxy will block it. So there's a lot of companies that use Symantec Blue Coat as their proxy. You can contribute to helping add into that proxy, or if you're internally within a company, you could add this to your proxy list to make sure that the employees in that company are actually protected. Or maybe you're just setting up and you're just blocking it yourself at home, and you can easily do that by adding it to a block list within the browser itself. Another great website for analyzing domains is Whois. So you can come in here and you can have a look to see, you try and get more information about the domain itself. So this is kind of the whole point of what we're doing when we work in cybersecurity, just trying to get as much evidence as possible. So as we can see here, it's OpenSea-en-IO. So it's very, very close to the actual legitimate OpenSea domain. So they did well there. We can see it was actually registered on the 10th of February, 2024. So this is something to always look out for. Newly registered domains, that's usually quite suspicious, especially if they're trying to impersonate a company that has been around for some time. So we know that OpenSea has been around before 2021. So for the domain to only just been registered, it's usually suspicious, and it's usually a red flag to look out for. So it's always hugely important to verify the emails using the steps that we've taken to make sure that anytime you're being asked for something, this could be connecting your crypto wallet, being requested personal information, always double check before you input anything into that website by doing some of the checks that we've mentioned. Always checking up the domain, the sender address, having a look to see if the email is actually quite generic, if it's actually addressed towards you. Sometimes attackers can be more sophisticated and they can do this, of course, but a lot of the low-level phishing emails and a lot that you will receive will be quite generic. But keep watching. I'm going to show you a few more examples of phishing emails and a few tools that I use to protect myself from these phishing attacks. So again, more examples. For example, PayPal then is huge for attackers. If they can access your PayPal account, then they can access your money. So attackers always have some kind of a goal, and usually with phishing emails, it's usually to steal your money or to steal your personal information. So again, this is a similar email. It looks like it's coming from team support from PayPal. It's services@paypal-accounts.com. So this one's a little bit more sophisticated. They've actually managed to get the PayPal reference in the actual envelope sender address, but you can see that the actual domain is paypal-accounts.com. So again, something to look out for is a bit more sophisticated. So this is saying your PayPal account is limited. You have 24 hours to solve the problem, or your account will be permanently disabled. So like we're going back to when the psychological factors that are in play here: urgency, fear of being locked out of your account, maybe fear of losing some money. As I said, we're sorry to inform you that you're no longer able to access PayPal's advantages like purchasing, sending, and receiving money. This could be sent to an actual business who uses PayPal to take payments, and what it's doing there is trying to link you directly to confirm your information. And again, this is going to link to a PayPal phishing site where you're going to enter your credentials and the attacker is going to be able to use your account. And again, here's another PayPal phishing attempt. So this one isn't quite as sophisticated. So it's showing clearly this is not from PayPal. It's showing completely random. So again, what we can do, have a look at this in MX Toolbox, but you should know that if it's at something random like this, they haven't even tried to include PayPal in there anywhere. It's most likely not from PayPal. So there's also sometimes things to spot on, like odd formatting. So attackers are getting better at this, but like odd formatting, like spaces there, full stop with a space is a bit strange. Your account has been disabled. So again, urgency and fear. So dear customer, so they're not actually using the recipient's name. So it's not directed directly towards you. It's quite generic, a bit like the OpenSea email that was sent to me. And they're saying that we've noticed some unusual activity on your account and we decided to limit access. Again, increasing the urgency of fear because they're saying they're going to close your account. Again, if you're using this for your business, you might be quite worried because of this. And again, what we're going to be doing, you hover over the link, and you can see it's clearly not from PayPal by reviewing the link. And like we were doing earlier, you'd right-click the link, copy it, put it into your VM, or your virtual machine or a tool like URL Scan, and then you'll be able to do an analysis on that link and you'll be able to confirm that it's definitely not from PayPal. So next up then, what I want to show you then are some tools and resources to enhance your email security and some practical tips for everyday email hygiene. So you could use an email tool like Proton Mail. So it's a fully encrypted email account. So this isn't going to stop you from actually clicking on phishing links, but due to their encrypted nature and due to their emphasis on security, they've got a really good email filtering solution to prevent phishing emails from actually coming to your mailbox. So this is one good tool that we recommend that you use. There's tools such as Proofpoint, and these tools are more for businesses. And what they can do, they can analyze emails that come inbound, and they can make decisions whether to release it to the actual end user or to just actually quarantine the email itself. And even just with Gmail itself, so Google Workspace, this is another great tool. You can set up rules within Google Workspace itself. You can set up tools within Google Workspace. So if you're using Gmail, for example, you can set up certain rules which will detect certain phishing attempts. Thirdly, then, what you want to be doing is setting up two-factor authentication on every single account that you're having. So if you do get compromised and you do enter your password for any reason, then if an attacker tries to log into your account, then they're going to need your two-factor authentication. And the two-factor authentication that is the best is a physical security key, like a UB key. You can get one of these and you can assign it to all of your accounts, add a physical security key, and you need to plug it into your computer to be able to authorize your login. If the attacker doesn't have that, then even if they've got your password, they're not going to be able to log in into your account. And finally, then, if you do use something like iCloud, what I recommend that you do is use their iCloud Hide My Email feature. So anytime that you sign up to a new account, it'll create a separate email address for that account itself. So instead of having to use the same email address for every single account, at some point when you're doing that, the companies that you're registering for could potentially get breached. Your information gets leaked. That makes you an easy target. So what you want to be doing is use the Hide My Email Address feature on your iPhone and on your Mac, and be able to just set up a separate email address for each account that you sign up to. If you don't use iCloud, then there's other services out there that you can do this with, or you can just simply create a new email address for each one of your important accounts. So you can use something like Proton Mail. Every time you're setting up an important account, for example, if you're setting up PayPal, have an email address that is just associated to that PayPal account, and you don't use it for anything else, because then there's less chance for an attacker to be able to associate that email address with your PayPal account if it never gets leaked. And then you'll also know then that if that email address does end up somewhere, then you know that a leak has come from PayPal itself. So to conclude then, you understand the anatomy of a fake email, you know some of the red flags to look out for, you understand the psychological factors that cyber criminals use to get you actually to click on that link and take the action that they want. You understand how to analyze the sender information in the email itself to determine if it's actually from the legitimate source. You know how to deconstruct the actual link within the email, and you know how to safely open it. You understand what to do when trying to verify requests for personal information. Always go directly to the source. don't always believe the email that is in front of you, even though it's legit. You've looked at more real-life case studies and you've been able to understand more examples of phishing emails. And now you understand some more practical tips for email hygiene and personal email security. So I encourage you now to take these key points away with you and make sure you implement these security strategies. So make sure that you're always vigilant, make sure that you're always using two-factor authentication, and make sure that you're always using different email addresses for different accounts to make sure that the attackers can't get you. So I'd love to hear any feedback from you in the comments. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see or any videos that you'd like to see next, or maybe that you've got examples of phishing emails that you want to share with us as well. Now, if this did pique your interest of getting into cybersecurity, make sure you go and watch this video next, which shows you how to get into cybersecurity with zero experience. So I'll see you over there.